right. Low ticket sales for Smackdown this past Friday. Shockingly low. Lowest in 4 years, Dutch. So, low since the Vince McMahon era. Now, there is a reason for it. I mean, there's probably a lot of reasons, actually. But they ran Salt Lake City on Friday, and then they ran Salt Lake City on Saturday for Saturday night's main event. So they ran the same town 2 nights in a row.
Never run a town like that on successive nights, because you can't do that around Mormons.
They've got many wives to please. You know what I mean? They can't be hanging about all weekend watching wrestling. Damn it! But apparently,
I'm thinking about a Mormon guy. How many wives can he have? As many as he wants?
I don't know. I've seen Book of Mormon, but I wasn't taking notes. The musical.
And I'm thinking, Mormon guy having more than one wife, he's stronger than I am. I'll tell you that. So anyway, go ahead.
They've done this once before, a couple of months ago, in Atlanta. I think they ran a Smackdown, and that didn't sell very well. And then it went straight to Saturday night's main event again, and that was for the Goldberg retirement match. And they didn't sell that many tickets in SmackDown for SmackDown either, because once again they were running 2 successive nights. It's incredibly expensive, so for most people you've got to pick and choose, and therefore you're going to do the pay-per-view quality show rather than yet another SmackDown with the same 4 matches, basically. So anyway, if I can find the number here, it was something 4,226 tickets sold
in Utah.
Salt Lake City, yeah.
Salt Lake City. I never liked Utah.
Why not?
I just don't. It's just a different vibe. It's that Mormon vibe. I mean, it's not bad. It's just different. You know what I mean? I don't want people in Utah write me and say, hey, you talking bad about Utah. No, it's just, it's to me, felt very strict. I guess because it's influenced by the religion, I guess. I don't know, but I just never liked it.
So, according to a new report from Fightful Select, the turnout at the Delta Center was a significant letdown for the company officials. This is actually for Saturday night's main event the next day as well. Despite a good card, the event's attendance was noticeably below WWE's average of this year. WrestleTix reported a final count of 7,867 tickets for a setup of just over 8,000.
Well, wait a minute. I was looking at that number. They only missed that expected number by like 200.
No, that's the existing setup. Like, they'd set up the arena for a certain amount, but that's not full capacity. So full capacity could have been thousands more, kind of thing. But yeah, so less than 8,000 for Saturday night's main event, just over 4,000 for SmackDown. Do you think WWE, because when you're hot, you can do no wrong in pro wrestling, or nearly no wrong, and then the converse is true. You can do all this great stuff when the business is cold or the promotion's cold, and nothing works. Has WWE peaked now, and are they going to finally start seeing the issues?
That's the thing about the wrestling. That's the thing about the wrestling business. The WWE now is no different than regional territories were in the past. All of a sudden, they're down. People are starving to death because they're getting paid just on the attendance or whatever. All of a sudden, they do one thing, it pops it. Now, when they do another thing underneath, it pops too, because you got more people seeing it, and then they do another little angle underneath. So now you still got that one big angle. Of course, the one big angle was what kicked off the interest to begin with, and they're up and running again. When territories get down, it takes a lot of money to run that. It takes a lot of money to run it, whether it's doing sellout business or not. But it can turn on a dime. You know what that means? If you have a dime in the street, all of a sudden you get to it and you make a quick turn. That's where it comes from, I think. But yeah, it's if they can stack that underneath, and they can keep it going. And now, if you look at the product now, you can look at it and nothing reaches out and grabs me. Nothing reaches out and slaps me and say, hey, you need to pay attention here, because I think they're struggling, but they will get back there. Isn't AEW they're back a little bit now or doing a lot better?
No.
No.
No, they sort of were for a tiny bit. Now, there was no AEW news this week. AEW just, for me, is so cold at the moment. There's nothing interesting going on for me. But let's stick with WWE, because you watch Raw. I watch Raw as well,
Yep.
just before we started recording. And, I was hearing, praise for the show, that kind of thing. But, there's two things that stuck out to me more than anything. Maybe three things. One, there wasn't a wrestling match in the ring until half an hour into the show. And it drives me crazy, and it's every week. And I just don't care for the long... I forwarded through them. I get to the last 2 minutes of them to get a point, and then go to the first match.
That was the format that they used to use back when. They always opened with an in-ring promo.
I hate that. Why don't you just open with a hot match, get it out there, get the crowd up, then you can take them down a bit afterwards.
Well, I've had that idea too. But guess what? They stayed with that in-ring promo. If not, you know what I would do? I think I would join a match in progress where those people are up and hit those people. Hey, we're this match couldn't wait, ladies and gentlemen, and start it like that. Then, if you're going to do the in-ring, at least open it with a hot match. Because when you book a match, another booker can tell you, whatever you put in the first match on a house show, a live event, put something in there that's going to get those people up. Don't put a boring match on the first, because the people saying, oh, God, now they're already regretting buying a ticket. So if they're down in the first match, now you got to get them back somewhere. But why not? And several bookers have told me that. So I've always tried to do that. Put your match in that is going to get the people up right off the bat. So get them screaming, hollering, stomping around, and not going to the concession stand.
This is what every Raw and SmackDown starts with. Pretty much every one. You welcome, then they've got like a cityscape they show for wherever they are. Salt Lake City, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have the main performers, the main stars, doing a little backstage thing where they're walking towards the camera. It says, tonight there'll be this person, tonight there'll be that person. They'll do about 4 or 5 of those. Then it'll get into the promo that opens the show that'll last about 20 minutes. And only by about minute 25, 30 will wrestling actually happen. And I remember one, this is many years ago, but an old Raw is War, and I remember they just opened up the show with a backstage brawl between The Undertaker and X-Pac that led to a big angle that paid off a couple of weeks later. I was like, just open up with something that just surprises me once, because everything's so paint by numbers. You've got your 5 matches for Raw, your 5 matches, or maybe even 4 sometimes for SmackDown. Occasionally I'll have 6 matches for Raw because it's longer. But everything's so paint by numbers now.
How big is the roster of WWE right now?
Does it meet, or does it feel quite small? Because I keep seeing the same people wrestle each other every week, more or less.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, if you only got 5 matches, what is the most people you could expose on any one show? If you had tag teams in every match, you're only going to get 20 guys. And what are you going to? How are you going to highlight somebody? Of course, you won't have all that many tag teams. You'll have some singles, and you need to tell the story. Stay with the story. I don't care what the story is. Stay with the story till you realize that it's getting over or it's not getting over. And either sometimes they'll just dump it and start something totally new, which is okay. You're getting away from it, but I think you need to swing off whatever angle you got and send them in a different direction. But I don't even know if that makes sense. But sometimes it's I can't figure it out, and we'll see what they do.
Do you know what it is?
I think the creative team in WWE right now, I think they got a hard job. But I think they're kind of lost. They don't know what they want to do.
Hey, they're advancing stories and they're going places. The problem is, it's the format of the shows itself. It's a variety show without the variety. It's, there's just no difference between it. And like, how many times have you seen Penta and Rusev and Penta, Rusev and Dominic Mysterio, they were interacting for weeks on end every single week. Then they switched up a tiny bit this week, and then Jey Uso and CM Punk for weeks on end interact wrestling with each other or tagging or whatever. And then the same women wrestling each other constantly every single week. It's just the same, man. And SmackDown's worse.
And they got a lot of women. How many women they have there? At least 20.
Yeah. Oh, and the rest. Yeah. Between the two on the main roster, between the two, easily.
And most of them are good-looking women. But that used to be a big deal to see a woman's match, a female match. But now it's part of the landscape.
They open the shows with a women's match, and I kind of thought that's not what I do. I kind of would have thought, you'd have like a hot singles match between two high-flying guys or something like that. Then you go to the women's match and etc. But just constantly mix it up. But they seem to always open with a women's match, or at least they have the last few weeks.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't think anything is set in stone when they get in that creative meeting. Who leads the creative meeting? Who's on creative?
It's Triple H who leads it.
Do we know?
Yeah, it's Triple H and Bruce and I can't remember the other guy. It's all in that documentary series. But Paul Heyman'll sit in there sometimes. But
the deal is this: you can be sitting in creative, and all of a sudden just get totally lost. You don't know where they're going, what they're thinking about, unless you're on the same wavelength as everybody else in that creative session. You're lost. If you present something and they shoot it down, which they probably always do anyway, because it's not their idea. And then they want to go some other way. Well, now you got to change to get with them. You got to change the way you're thinking. So, and you can do that, but you may not feel as strongly about that as the idea you had previously. But anyway, you got to adapt and go along with what the majority of them say, or what Triple H says. So, but anyway, and sometimes they hit a gold mine. Sometimes mostly they're still tinkering around trying to look at their little pellets they got.
For what it's worth, and you agree with me or not, it's a formatting issue, these shows, more than anything else. You've got 5 matches over the course of 2 hours 45 was Raw last night as we record this. And I think they only had 5 matches, 6 at a push, but I think it was
2
5.
hours and 45. What does that include?
That does include the adverts as well. So without those, it's about 2 hours 15. But
where did 15 minutes go? You said 2 hours and 45. Where did 15 minutes go?
Adverts.
No, not what 3 hours.
Oh, no. It wasn't 3 hours. It's Netflix. They can be whatever length they want to be.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah. So
now, see, they're making us adjust again. Now, with Netflix,
would you prefer it 3 hours?
There's no standard. It is what it is, which would be a writer's dream, really. You would say, "Well, we're short. Oh, it don't matter. They'll take it."